Hi, this is Murray from Second Time Tech, and today what I'm going to be doing is I want to talk a little bit more about this laptop. Now, in my last video, I had said that I wasn't going to put it on the network until I found out that it had the Spectre and Meltdown updates on it, which I did. And whenever it came in, it actually came in with, I think it was version 2.81 of the BIOS, and that was from, I think it was June. And when I went online, there was another version which was 2.82, and I checked it and see if it had the Spectre and Meltdown updates on it, and it did. In case you didn't see the first video, this is a laptop that I bought from Amazon. It's a Lenovo ThinkPad T430 laptop, I guess, or notebook. I don't know. I think it's kind of like a cross between the two, because if you get the T430S, then it's more like a notebook, and the T430 is more like a small laptop. But the only thing I know about on this is this one here. Which is just the plain T430, and I did a little bit of research on it, and I found the manual online, so I got that and I started going through it. The battery that's in this, it's not just one battery like up in here. It's not just this battery right here. I can take it out there just so that you can have a look. See, this is not the only battery that's in it. There's a battery inside of it, right in here somewhere, right around in here. And so it's a 3-cell battery inside here, and then on these batteries you can either get a 3-cell, and then you can get this one, which is a 57 watt hour. There's also, like in the 3-cell, there's 2 different size 3 cells. I can't remember if this is the big one or the smaller one, but there is a 6-cell, which would be twice the size of this thing here. And what it does is it, along with this, supposedly can run this computer up to something like 21 hours, or I mean, that must be like doing like Office or something on it with everything turned down and all that sort of good stuff. But with this battery and the battery that's in here, I think it's supposed to run about 9 hours whenever it's new, or 11, between 9 and 11 hours, somewhere around there. Like I say, with pretty much everything turned way down. And what I found when I was playing around with it and checking it out, and we did lose power because last time I was talking about the hurricane that came through here. Hurricane Dorian. It hit, I think it was a category 2 when it hit us. So I was playing around with it whenever it was because I had it all charged up, and I was checking it out. And then during the day, when I was using it a couple hours during the day, I had it on like regular brightness and stuff like this and whatnot. And then in the evening, when there was hardly any light, I turned the display way down. I also put it on most battery saving because I was just playing solitaire on it. And then I played that for I played probably for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours on that. And then the battery still said I had 2 hours left on it. So we're talking probably about maybe 6.5 hours, maybe 7 at the most, that it would get out of this, which is not bad considering it's refurbished, and this stuff the batteries aren't new either. They just make sure they work. If they work, they put them back in. They don't guarantee that it's a great battery. They just guarantee that it works. The other thing that I did on it was I checked what the screen was on it, because you can get 2 different screens, and the screen on it, this one you can't just open it. It's old school. You have to press the latch. Anyway, so the screen on it's 14 inch. So I found out this one actually does have the 1600 by 9, which is the best screen that you can get on here. The screen's pretty good. It's a TN panel, so you can't see from the side. It's not an IPS. And it has a 3rd gen i5 3320M is what's inside of it. Now the only graphics that's in this one, you can get them that have discrete graphics in it, but this doesn't. This one has just the Intel 4000 or HD 4000. This was for here to be able to use my mixer here with it and my microphone so I can get better audio than what my camera's given me in here. So that was the reason for this. I want to show you a little bit on this computer here. A couple of things that it has, I'm not going to go over every little thing because it'll take way too long again. But what it does have is it has, I'll close it back up again, and we'll start from this side here, and see if I can see it here. There's a USB 2 connection there, and then there's this little switch here that turns off and on your radios. And what your radio means is like your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth. So basically when you turn this off, it automatically goes into airplane mode. That's basically what's happening there. Right in here is a SD card where you can put in like your SD card for a reader. There's a DVD CD rewriter inside there. Then on this side we have a VGA port, headphones port. Let's see what else we got here. We got 2 USB 3 connectors there, and then we've got a mini display port right inside there. And then that there is for an exhaust for your air to come out. Right here is exhaust for your air to come out for your cooling. There is the input for the AC adapter. And then on this side, that is your network connector or your NIC card. And this here is yellow, and the reason why it's yellow is to show you that it's a USB 2 port, but it's always on. And in the BIOS, you can tell it to be always on even when the computer is turned off. And that means that if you have battery power, you can charge your devices with it. So you can use it like a battery pack. So if you get lots of charge on this and your phone dies, and you really need your phone, you can just connect it to it and it'll charge it. And then inside, we've got my little latch there. So lift that up. And then you got a camera here. Now the camera is 720p, so it's not a great camera, but it's good enough to do Skype. It's a Skyping camera. This has a little light right there, which will light up the keyboard, and that's so that you can see that night or dimly lit area. So it's got a little LED right up here, and it shines right down on the front. You can see every key. It's kind of neat. This one, you can get them with backlit keyboards, but this one does not have a backlit keyboard. It does have the touch point on it. It's on backwards, so this would be your left click, and that would be your right click on here. And then whenever you're using the touchpad, because your hand's down here, then you got buttons down here, so that would be your left click and your right click down here. So that's kind of neat. And this doesn't work too bad. I kind of like it. You can still tap that as a single tap, like it's a single left tap. And it does do the 2-finger scrolling. So it's kind of nice, double touch point that way. That is a fingerprint scanner right there. And up in here is to turn the speakers off, mute them. That's a button to mute your microphones, which is awesome. You can take off your microphones. I don't know where the microphones are on this one. I guess that one there, there's 2 little holes there and there. Because they said that it was 2 microphones, like a stereo mic, so it must have been it. And then that button, I think it has something to do with Windows 7. It would do something in Windows 7 and something in Windows 8. It would bring something up on the screen, but it doesn't do anything in Windows 10. And then up here, of course, that's your power button. And then your two speakers are here and here. And they're actually not too bad. Now here, it's kind of neat that the way they made it, you don't have to take the back off to do any upgrades on it. Because, that's my dog, Allie. She's jumping around because I'm dropping things. You just take off these two screws here, and under here is where you put the memory. Now these are self-retained screws, so you don't use them, so you only go up so high and then they click, and then you know that they've stopped. So you need to try and lift this up like this here, that one's there, and just little clips. You take it out, and that's sitting there. Then what's really nice, what I really like about it, is the battery's right there, and there's the connector for your battery. So if you need to replace your battery for your CMOS, it's just right there. That's awesome. And then right in here, there's a card, and you can see these two little connections here, and these are for antennas. And what I'm thinking it's for, because I was reading a little bit on it, what you're going to put in here is a radio card. And I think what it's for is if you want to make it like if you want to do cellular data, I think you can get a card for that gives you cellular data, and then there's your two antennas for it, which is my best guess. And then your memory to upgrade is right on this side here. Now there should be two. There's only one on here, so the other one's underneath here somewhere, and it's got 4 gigs on it. But this one here makes it upgradable, and it says it's upgradable to 16 gigs. But the way this is, there's 4 inside there, and this 4. So if I took that out, it made 8 a 12 gig. So now the next thing, which is really kind of cool. Now if you want to take your SSD drive out, I think it's kind of awesome. Just put your screwdriver in here, and a little screw there, like that. And you pop this out. There's always the screw doesn't want to come up all the way. So you take that out, take that off. And then right here, this little piece of black plastic, and you pull that out. See right there, there's a little piece of black plastic. You pull that out, and then you pull on this, and there's your SSD. You don't even have to take the back off to get the SSD out. That's awesome. And then to put it back in, you're just basically doing the same thing. And then just make sure to keep this piece down here like this. Make sure that it gets in there right. And then put it in, and then just push it all the way home. There you go. And then you just put your cover back on. And kind of nice, for about 17 bucks you can go on Amazon and you get this little tray that goes inside here, because what you can do is if you don't want to use your CD rewriter, which is right here, take out your CD-ROM drive and put in another SSD inside of it. There. So, be able to get out most of the stuff. You don't have to do hardly anything to tear it apart. It comes on fairly quickly. The only thing I can think to do is to put a bigger SSD inside of it, and I think that'll be pretty much all that I will need to do in order to make it work the way I need it to work anyway. And maybe upgrade the battery. But anyway, that's a little bit of a teardown on the Lenovo ThinkPad T430, and like I said, I got it on Amazon. I didn't look to see if they had it on the US site or not. I'm not positive. I will look, and I'll put it in the show notes and see if they got something similar on Amazon US. But anyway, so far, I like it. It's good. Wasn't that expensive. 319 Canadian. That's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 220 American. So, like I say, it's not bad. And I think it'll do fine. I've got 30 days to try it out to make sure, and it's a no hassle return policy for 30 days. and then there's a total of 90-day warranty on it for the whole thing. Even if the battery stops working, they'll fix. Well, they'll send you another battery. It won't be a new one, but they'll send you a battery that's working. So if this one fails within 90 days, they'll actually send you another battery, which is pretty cool too. I like that. But anyway, that's basically all I have for today. So, if you like this video, thumbs up. Don't like the video, thumbs down. I do want to wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.